Good afternoon, folks. I want to take you for a little ride and show you a little something in order to again attempt to explain something that might be very valuable information to you and your loved ones. It's Cowboy Roy Rogers, and I want to bring you some CRR clues to go with your news. On this little detour that I took for us are some flares, natural gas flares, that burn off the excess gases. And I have a hypothesis related to natural earth activity going on, and I propose some things that may be igniting fires worldwide. And much of this information is related to what my good friend in British Columbia, Canada, Mr. Brian Gunderson, provides you on Geomagnetic Earth Watch. What a piece of junk here. On Facebook and YouTube. See, hello. Keep going, please, because I'm not slowing down. On the left is a drilling company installation there. There's wells all throughout this area for crude oil and natural gas. My question is, some form of natural gas igniting fires coming directly up out of Earth's crust, just like on our left ahead, you'll see a nice sized flame on one of these flares where they burn off the excess gases. I reached out for further information, but didn't receive a response. From my understanding, normally this gas is not collected. It's a toxic gas, so if it's just released into the atmosphere, it can build up and it can harm people. But when it's burned off, it burns off clean. It's no longer toxic. It doesn't harm humans or wildlife or farm animals or whatever. Hopefully you saw that one for a moment. I've shown these in the past in relation to them seeming to all be burning more so shortly before seismic activity releases in this part of Karnes County in South Texas. Excuse me a moment here. Detroit, gotta help me slow down here. Thanks for passing and cutting in front of me just so I'd have to stop behind you, dude. Alright. The gases are burned off so they don't cause a problem. With some of the garbage refuse locations, the dumps, here in Texas, they install pipes in the garbage dump when they cover it up with soil. Those pipes collect the methane from the rotting food waste, material waste, possibly decaying biological waste from whatever critters got dumped in the garbage. Much like methane from dairy farms' manure and urine piles is now being collected. I believe they put huge vinyl tarps over those areas to collect the methane because it's flammable. Now, unlike carbon dioxide, wrong, that's our life gas. Unlike carbon monoxide, methane is less likely to build up and cause someone's death. It's not harmful like some of these gases coming naturally out of the earth when they pump up crude oil or inject wastewater in order to push up natural gas. Natural gas doesn't only come out of the ground by man-made facilities. It comes up naturally. For example, a location on the African continent that was releasing methane. It was becoming concerning to the people living in the region. And so that particular country or province, they decided they would try igniting it to burn it off. And that turned out to be a bit of a mistake. I guess the initial emission must have had an explosion and provided a bit of a crater. They thought maybe it would cap it off when they ignited it. Some people now call that the pit of hell, or the entrance to Sheol, because it's still burning. Natural gas is still naturally releasing, and it's still burning there. It's a huge pit. Looks like a sinkhole, but it's flaming. There have been places in North America where they found methane coming up from sinkholes and such. The point is, when earthquakes occur, either because pressure between tectonic plates and between the craton edges of those plates, or because of deep magma uplifting and resurging into lava tubes and pushing upwards, it causes fracturing. For example, as reported directly to me by a contact after the Paradise Fires in California. So I got it as third-person information. My contact said that her friend informed her of reporting to authorities in California that before the fires, she had seen a very small pocket of lava. What is magma when it pushes up and comes out of a fissure? Yeah, lava is what we call it when it hits the Earth's surface. So lava, obviously it's hot, it can ignite dry tinder on the ground like leaves, grass, dead trees, possibly live trees. If that's coming up to the tree roots that reach 20 to 100 feet down in the ground, do you think maybe it'll catch them on fire? Do you think maybe if flammable natural gases like the ones over on the right coming out of these flares, rather small amount today, those natural gases coming out could either get ignited by rocks or something, especially during fracturing. The rocks are busting apart, they spark, or if the ground is grinding together, it sparks. It coming out of the ground pre-ignited, come blasting out stronger than these flares, possibly stronger than the one up ahead that may be lit. Or do you think maybe it could come out and then something above the surface, like electric lines with weak spots arcing? Somebody who doesn't know how to keep their butt in the cab of the vehicle and they throw the cigarette out. There's a flare on the left, but that's not the one oh, there it was. If you saw the Trident, the flare with 3 flames on it, it's only blowing out maybe 3 to 5 foot high at the moment. I come through here in the morning in the dark and I've seen a flame 20 foot high joined together out of those 3 torches on that flare. It looks like a flaming trident of Satan himself. I'm assuming it's distributed between 3, so it's not such a huge single jet and a huge flame at once. In a video 4 months ago, I tried to explain this stuff and show it with my own welding and cutting equipment, and even little mini torches that people use to light their cigarettes or use whatever illicit narcotics they're dumb enough to use. It also works good for melting heat shrink and soldering your electronics and stuff. Why I keep those little mini torches, or a larger butane torch, an oxyacetylene rig. When you heat steel, weathered through electromagnetic pulse from some device, or more likely from a solar flare, you heat steel so hot, like a plasma cutter, the steel will heat up and catch something on fire, like a copper or aluminum wire can catch your house on fire, or your vehicle. You heat the steel enough, any flammable thing touching it can come and catch fire. For example, those wires up there, where the galvanized supports for them, they can catch the post on fire without the grass on the ground being fire below. That barbed wire fence, the T-post is grounded, so if the ground is producing heat, that steel post is going to transfer the heat to the wire, and the wire is going to carry that heat to the wood post and to the staple in that wood post. And lady in California, Pamela, I'm sorry, I can't remember her name. She interviewed a gentleman who investigated all the fires in California. And she interviewed him right after the fires in Kelowna, British Columbia. And he showed images of not only fence posts burnt right where the wire touched them, but galvanized bolts through wood guardrails heated up enough to burn the wood in the wood post. The wood didn't catch fire all by itself. The metal got hot enough. Was that because the end of the guardrail was stuck down in the ground and therefore it was drawing the heat of the earth? Or was it from electromagnetism? And a pulse heated it up. That needs further research. Please be aware of what can occur so you can be prepared to deal with it. We still need to find out whether or not we need to have static straps grounding our vehicles to protect from EMP, or if maybe we shouldn't. Because as long as the tires aren't on a hot enough spot of the ground, maybe they don't catch on fire. It depends on which situation you're going through. If you end up driving through lava, what's going to happen to your tires? If it's hotter than they can handle, yeah, they're going to catch on fire. They're steel belted radial, yes. The wires inside can get hot enough. If you're running flat and they're shifting around, they'll get flat enough to explode the rubber. If they're properly inflated and they're getting hot from electromagnetic pulse, they can probably also either catch on fire or explode. Similar things can happen to lots of things. Please do not assume that a grass fire can catch a car on fire. Don't assume that somebody is using some type of laser or directed energy weapon at a million places at the same time. There's one thing that can do that. It's our sun or another star like it. All created by our Heavenly Father, who can determine when these things occur or do not occur. Please learn, adapt, and overcome. Please share this video and the one I posted about 4 months ago in the summer, standing out there dehydrated 40 minutes. Watch the whole thing so you can get the point. Please don't be like 300 people that only watched 30 seconds and didn't get enough fear-mongering. So they went to find some fear-mongering. You're not going to get that bullshit from me. You're not. I may make mistakes, but I absolutely will not try to spread fear to get attention. I don't want attention. I want us to work together. I want everyone who hears my voice to have some awareness and preparedness so they can pass it on to others so we can learn together. I don't need my friends and family or strangers beating on my door because they won't take care of themselves because I cannot take care of them. And I don't think you can either. But if everyone learns to grow food, to defend, to fix things, to provide your own heat through wood or whatever, to do all your own raising of food, animals, and processing and preserving them. If every one of supposedly 8 billion people on this earth, which I do not believe there are because of the mass intentional die-off labeled 2019 and the treatments for it. But if over 7 billion people all knew how to take care of themselves and were teaching the toddlers to do it, this world can handle 10 billion people. Look around me. It doesn't have to be overgrown with stinking weeds that we call mesquite trees. But guess what? You can eat from those. They provide beans. Uncommon News 777 showed you how to make bread with those, kind of like cornbread. Everything we need is provided to us. That includes the natural gas and crude oil that are not fossil fuels. Rockefeller paid scientists to lie. Period. The evidence is available. I wish you all a blessed day. I ask you all to be a blessing to others. I thank each and every one of you. That is a blessing to me. Please keep learning and educating others. Adapt and overcome. Mankind hasn't been here just 10 or 12,000 years. We haven't been here just 50,000. And I'm talking about Homo sapiens. I'm talking about you and I. Archaeology has disproven so many false narratives and misunderstood theories. Homo sapiens and Cro-Magnon lived together, along with a lot of other creatures that were supposedly gone before we ever were created. Yet, archaeology finds little figurines thousands of years old of a man riding on a triceratops. Have a good day.